everybody, and thanks for being here. Sorry, Paloma, we will go with English. I was in Spain last week and I had to speak a lot of Spanish, and I realized my Spanish was okay, but not good enough to hold this session in Spanish. So maybe I would like to explain a little bit the reason why we decided to do this little session. So first of all, when we started the project Liotes, we had actually an AMA, and we plan to do regular such sessions with the people of the community. But then it's now about 5 years in. This is the second one, so it was about time. And also the reason is we wanted to do something a bit different. Zoltan has a lot of experience with running his shows, and now it's time for me also to get started. And the idea of this session is to go a bit back in history, get through the time that Liotes started and how we came here, the situation of today, and then we would also like to brainstorm a little bit about the future of Liotes, and we will do that mainly Sultan and myself, but feel free if you want to if you want to say something, just tell us in the chat and then we open your mic if you want to, but you can also ask questions in the chat during this time. And so, yes, Zoltan, if you want to say something, just jump in, okay? Otherwise, I go on.
Okay.
So
I just want to say hello everyone. Hi, includes Jesus, my Pathfinder, Paloma, whole Liotes team is out, and welcome Ralph87. Welcome to this Liotes brainstorming session. You can continue, Akim. You have prepared everything. I will just listen like others in the audience.
So yeah, I have prepared very little, so it's more a bit of improvisation. So we started in, I believe it was 2020 with Liotes. We had the initial sale of Liotes Mills, and as it happened, it was on the same time that Leo started a huge project on, I don't remember where it was. Well, they started something that doesn't exist anymore, and so we were kind of in the shadow of this Leo project. And but all the same, we managed to get started well. We had a lot of ideas. We actually started with a shop. We had a shop in on the Liotes website where people could actually buy Rising Star cards. They could rent Splinterlands cards. They could also buy some cards. They could even buy cards from another game on the Waxbox chain. Alien Worlds, I think, was the name. And we did that, and it was great. We had a plugin where people could actually pay with LEN tokens and directly purchase their stuff. And it worked, but it was a lot of work for us because we had to do everything manually. Our software wasn't that well in place, and then Splinterlands came out with their all rental shop. We did that even before Splinterlands did it, and then we kind of gave up because it was too much, and we concentrated on all the other stuff, on the project, the tokenomics. To be honest, we planned also kind of game behind all this, and we soon had to realize that we simply weren't qualified to build a game, and we saw how others struggled to build games, and we decided not to do it. But we went on. We then built other stuff that wasn't initially planned. We built a curation system, our Pig curation project. That's the idea was to actually reward people that created good content, and it started with Sultan and myself. Then my Path to Fire joined us, and it became bigger and bigger, and now it's great to have all of you kind of part of this project. I mean, it really has become a central part of Liotes, and it all fits together with the rest, because we have the Liotes voter that actually afterward follows the curation team and upvotes the content of the people who create things that are worth reading according to you guys. And so we have really built a system where you have tokens that are burned. We have a kind also of ranking where people can actually collect credits by taking part in our missions, by delegating Hive power to the Liotes voter, or by staking Liotes mills. And this has become a kind of how to say a kind of structure where we work in, and we then also kind of concentrated our work more on that. And just to go back a little back in time, at the very beginning we had one of our main efforts was to kind of build up second layer income sources. So we invested in a lot of these tribe tokens, and we built curation projects on this with these tribe tokens. And over time, unfortunately, most of these tribe tokens kind of died out, and we had to redefine a little bit all this. And so there are a lot of things we built. There are a lot of things we built, gave up. There are other things that we created. And so it was a kind of organic growth. We then started to create diesel pools for our tokens. We were probably the first project that actually paired the mining token with the mined token, and we added rewards to that. Then we also had a big event. We went with Sultan together to the Hive Fest in Croatia, which was really great. It was the first time that actually Zoltan and myself met. We actually met in the comment sections of Hive posts. He was curating for This Is Awesome, and he actually curated my posts very regularly, and that's how it started. That's how we found out that we liked what we were doing. I liked what he was doing, and he liked what I was doing, and so we thought, oh, let's build something together, and that's a bit how Liotes was created. And just if Zoltan wants to say something, I'm just going on like that.
I'll just chime in and say welcome to everyone who joined in the continuation. And other thing, I have server muted you because you have a hot mic. So if you can just mute yourself in your settings. It's nothing personal. I just muted to not interrupt others while talking. You can continue. You are doing great, Hakim.
Thanks. So this little looking back to the Liotes history, also sometimes it fills me a bit with nostalgia, because we did some things that I enjoyed and then we kind of gave up. For example, there was some lore with the planet that was discovered. The Liotes was actually initially a planet, and we were discovering this planet, and the people were kind of building a settlement on this planet. But then, yeah, we had to prioritize, and it was always a kind of the financial side that took the upper hand, and we also had to figure out how to deal with our time, because when we started all this, it was COVID time and we had plenty of time. And after that, when we had to restart my job, I had less time at this position, and so we kind of had to let this go. Of course, there are also always decisions that we have to take, whether what we want to go on with and what not. And this brought us a bit to the situation of today. So what I can say, we had some talks with Zoltan in the past days. The thing is, the dynamic of crypto on Hive and in the crypto world in general is different than it was a couple of years back. And especially in the last weeks, we saw some people even from the community who started to power down their Hive, to sell their tokens, and actually I see a lot of resignation, but it's not something that is totally only related to Hive. It's something that affects crypto markets and the markets in general, and so it's even on a world politic level that actually things are a bit dark and maybe not so positive. And that's why also we want to kind of steer against that and bring some positivity back. And that's why we also wanted to have this session with you, because we want to kind of give a new dynamic to the whole Liotes project. And we believe that at the moment, the Liotes project needs to go a little bit further than just on Hive. I mean, Hive is our home. We love Hive and everything related to Hive, but we have the feeling that in order for Liotes to grow, we need to go outside of Hive, and by going outside of Hive, we probably will be able to bring people back to Hive with us, and that's a bit what we plan to do. There is nothing concrete in that, but for a start, we thought, yeah, if we make such sessions together with you, instead of only publishing them as a Hive post, we would also do it as a YouTube video and refer to our posts on Hive, and maybe it will open a bit the world of Liotes to other people. Yeah. So I haven't really read what is in the chat, so maybe Zoltan can add something now, because I'm through with what I wanted to say as a introduction. What's your take on that?
Well, of course, we discussed about these things before, and bear markets are hard. Everybody who is here for a longer time understand that and everybody knows how it works. When markets are going down, people are going out from crypto and vice versa. I just did a post on a similar personal story, how I went out from Bitcoin when I first joined crypto, and it's the same, and it's happening over and over again. But we think that we can do more if we spread out things that personally I didn't do deliberately on Hive. Is that I didn't want to shield or share. It's not that I didn't want to share, but didn't want to give these advices what to people to do, even if it was just like what I'm doing in crypto. I just didn't want to be responsible for somebody other's actions, and that was probably one of the reasons why we didn't share too many things from outside of Hive, because Akim and myself, we were doing other stuff on other chains too, because DeFi is one of the things that we love, and there is not that many possibilities on Hive to do the DeFi thing, for example. And that's something that we think that maybe by educating others and sharing stuff that we are doing, we can actually bring more people to Liotes and to Hive, and also maybe bring some funds to Hive through outside. So that's also one of the options, and because we have certain things on Hive that others don't have on other chains, so why not combine these two things, and that's one of the reasons that why we were discussing how to go out. So maybe more stuff to share, and of course listening to you guys, what you can share what you want to share. So maybe you have some great idea that we can build on top of it or share with others. So the point is that we want to stay focused on Liotes. We want to stay focused on bringing value to the community here and to people who are holding our tokens, and we are dedicated to that mainly. So that's our main goal in all this.
What we realized on Hive is that there is too much in my opinion, this is very personal, and you should know, Zoltan and myself, we are not always of the same opinion. So this is, and it's good because I often have some ideas, and then I share the idea with Zoltan, and he destroys my idea, and then I say thank you because it was not a good idea, and and often he shares ideas from him, and I tend to do the same. So yeah, for us, it's actually important that we can throw ideas to each other, and the other says, I don't think so, or yes, it's great, and so on. Because when you just say something and the other says, "Oh yes, 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 yes," then you want to do 65,000 things, and in the end, you don't do anything well. So just to this little parenthesis. So what I wanted to say is that we are both, actually, Zoltan and myself, we are entrepreneurs. So in real life, I have a business. Zoltan had several businesses that he was running in the past, and we believe that we don't want just to rely on the actually Hive inflation for our project, because so far, whenever we see a project on Hive, in 95% of the case, they either function with delegations, they function with tokens that people buy, or they want rewards from posts. Or maybe even from the DHL. And this is all coming from the Hive inflation. And this just means it doesn't generate more value for Hive, because it's from Hive we create more tokens, and it's with these more tokens that we actually can do something. It's interesting and so on, but I think we believe that by creating services or by creating something, we should do something that generates real income. And most of the projects on Hive, they are kind of scared to ask for income, because they think on Hive everybody has to work for free. And yeah, this is something I have some difficulties to live with. And it's my personal opinion. I believe that when you do something great, you shouldn't be worried to ask something for it. It doesn't have to be very expensive or so, but it should be possible that with the work that you do, we generate value. So that's a bit my point. And Zoltan, do you agree with that or not?
Well, yeah, in a way, I don't know why is that problem. Probably because of spam. Maybe what happened in the past on Hive, that people would shield some certain projects or some tokens or affiliate links or similar things, and maybe because of that it was just kind of a negative side to try to build a business. But in a way it has all the logic that you build a business and you use Hive as a platform for posting news or for posting some contest or something else. So that's kind of a way that it should be normal thing to do. So why not?
Yeah, we are kind of lucky to have a platform that is actually free to use. We have free web space. We don't have to worry about databases or whatever. We can use this space. And when I look at Web 2, I mean, people, they have to build businesses. On Hive, it's almost too easy. We rely on the reward pool. We rely on the votes that we get, on the curation rewards that we get. And we could do that at the same time and do something in addition to that. And we are just a bit trying to discover how we could do something a bit economically more meaningful, because we spent a lot of time, all of you spend a lot of time on Hive, and we probably all enjoy what we are doing, but I'm sure we could do more. And the idea is to try to figure out in which way we would like to go. I've read something very interesting the other day, is that in the past, you had a product, And when you had a product, you tried to figure out how to build a community around this product. And then you try to sell this product to this community. And nowadays, it's went rather towards a way where you actually first try to build a community. You see the needs of this community, and then you try to build something according to the needs, and you try to make a product out of that. So, and the thing is, if you just wait for the community to build on Hive, this will going to be a very slow process, I believe, because it's not easy to join Hive, especially in a beer market where, oh, sorry, not the beer market, the bear market. So we rather see people leaving than people coming, and we built something for a population that is rather getting smaller. So it can be a bit discouraging, I think, after a while. So Zoltan, I count a bit on you on more brainstorming. I'm talking too much.
I will try to find the video that you shared with me, and I will send the link in the chat, because it's a really good video, and I would suggest everyone when you have time to check it out, because of course if you have this business mindset, if you want to do something differently, if you want to be entrepreneur, this is probably a great starting point. I was struggling to find a free time to watch it, because I think Akim sent to me this link like, I don't know, week 2 ago, and I needed like 3-4 days to watch it. But it's a really good one, because it shows you how big are the possibility out there, especially with AI. So this is like topic with AI, that you can build AI businesses in a very short period of time if you have a good idea. Of course, idea is always in front of everything. If you have a good idea, then you did half of the job. Of course, you have to take action and to build the stuff itself. But it's a very good thing to drop the idea and then brainstorm about the idea. That's how actually we started with Liotes. So Akim had idea from the previous token, and then we just started to build on top of it. And as he told the story at the beginning, so steps how it was evolving, and it wasn't like 100% written how it will go after a year, 2, 3, but we created a minimum thing. This is what they call it in the video, minimum lovable product, and then we built on top of it. That's when we added, for example, the creation program that wasn't actually at the beginning. We didn't have it in mind at all at the beginning of the project, and some other stuff that we built, and of course other stuff that we actually just chimed out because it didn't have sense to do it. Actually, maybe we just paved the road to some others to build it and to do it. So that's also a good thing. But back to the idea thing. So that's why we did this thing with the brainstorming, starting with this like a pilot episode, just to see if we drop some idea, then maybe we can build on top of that one idea. So everybody can write the idea. Is it a good one? Is it a bad one? And what would you add? What are the pros and cons? And then maybe we can build something better. So and always I had in mind the thing that if you are a token holder, and everybody who has the HP Hive power in your account, you probably care about Hive. So everybody cares about Hive who has a Hive power. Every whale that you see out there cares about Hive, but everybody thinks that it's his way is the best way to do it. And sometimes we have this kind of that we think that others are pushing hard on us certain things, but some people don't understand that we can do different things on the same platform for the same coin. So it doesn't have to be the same thing, and that's kind of a logic that we want to take out from it, and to do it in our way, and doing things differently, but still
Yeah.
doing for Hive. So that's the thing. So if you hold Hive, you want to see Hive getting out. You want to see Hive at 30 cents, 50 cents, $1, $10. You want to see it there. But as Hive is a community token, everybody has to do its part to get it there. It's not just a magic number that will just hit $10 just because of I don't know what, because of nothing. Everybody has to do its part and their part, and then it can succeed. So, and that's why we try to with these sessions to do kind of a brainstorming. What can we do better? What can we build on top that nobody did, for example, that can make a change, that can make a difference. So that's kind of a logic.
Maybe people, when we talk about business and business, people get a bit scared, and because I'm here, I'm a blogger, or I'm a content creator, or I'm a curator, and so on. For us, when we speak about business, it's not that we want to create 100 products or whatever and so on, but we just want to broaden our space, our horizon, and to not to be enclosed to a small capsula. And that's what sometimes I feel when I look at the latest kind of curator raids against so-called bit bots or whatever. We want to have a broader horizon. We want to see outside of Hive, because there are other things that can fit into Hive very well. And for example, I watched this video that Zoltan shared above, and I managed to create a website that showed all my posts from Hive in 30 seconds. So it's just a little idea that I wanted to test, and I wrote a prompt, and it created a website for me that showed all my posts, or all the posts of the user that I wanted to point out. And I was just thinking, my God, it's limitless. We can do so many things. We just have to be open to such things and see how we can actually use this, tie it to what we have built already. And so, yeah, don't be scared when we speak about business. We just think about ideas, about things to build, because we believe that when you build stuff, when you create stuff, then you go forward. And it's also important for us to keep motivated to not just do every week exactly the same. And we also need perspective, and I probably you as well. And I think we want just to show a possible way and discover this way together with you in a way.
I just want to read in loud the comment from Kaiba GT, because maybe people will just listen to this and not watch. So he said, the interesting thing I think about the Liotes project is that you merge several things. You earn with land tokens, you earn as a community, and you earn in engagement. Not to mention that Liotes has a conscience because it seeks to keep people in the Hive. There is a lot of talk about bringing people to the Hive, but they forget that without an active base, the community does not exist. So this is a very, 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 very good comment, and very, very much on spot. The thing is, there are several things that you covered with this one sentence, and thank you very much for writing that. As I will just cover some of my thoughts on this, because this is in the end just a brainstorming session, so we can go out and into the topics. And this is good because it is running like that. With our Liotes missions that we are doing on Wednesdays, which Akim does 99%, so he is all in that. With asking the community these questions, it looks like ridiculous and nothing special thing, but it's a great thing, because if you check out the previous missions, you will see a lot of comments on those posts, because people like to be asked things, and people like to give their opinions, which is a good thing, because it just builds that engagement and pushes people to write these comments. And these comments are not just like a short comment. These comments are really great comments that can be a post. I see some people writing such a great comments on those missions that it's just incredible. And that's the thing which keeps the community on Hive. So that's probably the most important thing for retain people on Hive. as we have to have this active base, and every single person who leave Hive is not like one person, and every single uh, older experienced hiver is not like living one hiver. It's like living hundreds of Hivians in the same time, because just one left, because that one person maybe built a community, maybe had a lot of other people who were following it. So in a way, it's very important. And also another thing regarding all this is that every single person who is here and creating some content, you are creating the material that is visible for everybody else out in the world. So what does it mean if we go to Twitter, if we go to YouTube and we spam Hive links, if somebody comes to Hive and there is nothing? So, and that has no sense at all. And that's why it's important, both sides of the coin, not just onboarding like crazy. You try to onboard somebody and convince it to come here, and they come here and there is nothing. They see empty feed or something similar. So thanks for this comment. That comment, it's really on spot. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's totally correct what he's saying, because you can do as much onboarding as you want if people write their first post and then get maybe a couple of votes, but then the second there is nothing there, and then what comes after that? And with Liotes, with his missions, we try to welcome everybody, and of course, sometimes it's not so easy when you get like 70 comments on a post and you have to answer them all. But most of the time, we do that. We just answer everybody, and we try to give a warm welcome to the people. And I think uh, it's not even that people really get a big reward when they join our missions and they take part, but we want them to feel that we care about what they think, what they say, and I think this is what is necessary for people to stick to it. I mean, uh, when we joined, Zoltan and myself, Zoltan started over Splinterlands, and I started because I discovered the blockchain in a book. I went to a library, I found a book, and I saw about that, and and then I went and I posted once, I posted twice, and then I kind of stopped, and then I saw somebody that I knew from somewhere else that actually did a show, and it was John G. Olson. I don't know whether you remember him. He is still active actually, but he was running the CTP community. And both Sultan and myself, we started to be quite involved in this community. And to have a community like that, that holds things together, that you know each other and so on, it's what kept us on Hive, because when you get like 10 cents per post and so on, and you need something else that keeps you here, and that's what we try to build with Liotes. We don't succeed all the time. Maybe we could do more, and there also we would like to have your feedback. What could be better? How do you feel? Do you feel like a Liotian, or do you just come for the mission and then you are more at ease with the other communities, which is also okay, of course. um, yeah, the old Jongo dude. They were doing shows like twice a week, and we followed them almost all the time. It was fun, and there was also this notion of building something. It was like, okay, let's use Hive to build a business, and this was appealing to me at least, and I think maybe we would like with Liotes to offer something a bit more than just content creation and so on. There is content creation, there is curation, there is everything that Hive is already good at, but we would like to give something in addition to that, and that's a bit what we try to figure out.
And guys, if you have some questions, you can ask in the chat. I see that my pathfinder is running a Solana node profitable. I don't know. I didn't check it out, but I think that Solana node requires some crazy expensive machine to run, and also it is also DPoS, I think. So you need some connections there. So I'm not sure that it will be profitable to run something like that. maybe for a long run. I don't know. I really didn't check out the profitability of Solana node. And I think that there were no other questions before. So if you want to ask something or you want to comment something, feel free to do so. I see that the Scrum Master doesn't have a mic. You can write it down in the chat. So if you want to ask something, you can do, or just you can share your opinion or your vision. You can also unmute yourself and ask it on the microphone. I'm not sure that Abdesing is still busy. She's not muted. I have unmuted you, Abdesing. I hope that you don't have a hot mic anymore. Maybe you should try VSC. Yeah, we had.
Yeah, let's just talk about alphabet witnesses.
It looks that Abdesing is not listening to me.
Yeah, the thing is, running witnesses is nice, but it's also not as let's say frictionless that we might think. So behind the doors there is a lot of politics, and it's often not really our cup of tea. We had some issues with Hive engine lately, and yeah, I'm not sure whether this is something we want too much to go into in the future. A VSC node is at the moment there is no remuneration for running a VSC node, so there is no way to earn something for providing the service. So at the moment we don't really plan to do that.
Well, we didn't
But
discuss.
It's again,
well, we
yeah.
so maybe we have different.
I don't plan to.
I was actually thinking about the VSC node, so we didn't talk about this topic. So it's interesting to do that in live.
Okay.
It's good to support the network. That's a good way to support in a testnet. I saw that there are over 20 nodes out there. I didn't have time to dive into it recently, so maybe we will try to spin up some to run it in a test node. I think that there will be a requirement of 2000 Hive or HBD. I'm not sure. I saw some.
I think it's Hive now.
I saw somewhere
We need
Hive
to
and somebody
stake.
else. Yeah, and somebody else mentioned HBD too, but I'm not sure. I think it's Hive, but maybe we will do it. So we will see. We will see.
Zoltan likes to witness stuff. I since he's doing it, I can't really decide on my own.
It's like more supporting the network, so it's mostly about that in a way. So that's why we did it on the Hive engine too. And also, of course, the Hive Witness is running now a year and a half, I think, and surprisingly, we didn't miss any blocks in this 1 year and a half, which isn't that small thing to do. So I don't know what's happening, but it was very reliable, and that's very nice to see. That's regarding the nodes, I think, that we covered.
Yeah, so there is Skyback who asked a question. One thing I would like to hear your opinion on nowadays, one of the most talked about topics is in the Hive is the so-called key E, but they do not take into account the second layer tokens. I think that the tokens are very important for the ecosystem, as PH 1102 said. It is a set of tools that make the Hive grow, but how to show people that they are really important for the ecosystem. Yeah, the key E ratio is much talked about. It's kind of, it calculates how much Hive power you have according to how much rewards you generated. So or the contrary, I don't remember. Anyways, if the key E is very low, it means that you have staked almost all your earnings. If the key E is very high, it means that you have taken out most of the money according to that. But I really have a lot of difficulties with such indicators because it's much easier for a guy in Germany to actually just do Hive on the side and stake up everything that he earns, and maybe somebody who is living in Venezuela, he needs to take out 90% of his earnings because he needs to pay food. And I think you can't just say this is a good person, this is a bad person, because it doesn't work like that. And I really regret that some people take this make a kind of police and say this is good, this is bad. In a way, there is place for everybody on Hive. Okay, there are some things that I'm totally against, like plagiarism or AI content or such kind of things. But I mean, it's your token. You should be able to do with your token what you want to do. I mean, otherwise we are in a kind of, I don't know, we define what the others should do with their money and so on. And I think this is not good. And as you said, there are second layer tokens. Nobody takes that into account. I mean, you can also have a lot of HBD, and it's not reflected in it either. So. For example, me, I have a very low level of key because I actually sold all my Splinterlands cards and put it as Hive power because that was my decision. But I mean, I'm not a better Hivian than somebody else. Splinterlands will probably tell the contrary. But they say, "Yeah, why did you sell the cards?" And yeah, and all such activities where people police others, in my opinion, is bad for Hive because it shows it's kind of a power struggle, and it pushes people rather away. Or I mean, when such rules come out, there are some people who are like pushing on other people's heads, and it's a kind of abuse of power, in my opinion. What do you think, Sultan?
And honestly, that this kind of events that happening in the last couple of weeks made these discussions possible. So if that wouldn't happen, probably we didn't have this today. So the thing is that my personal opinion, I wanted to write a lot of posts on this topic. It's a bit tricky to put everything on the paper, but the thing is that Hive is now 8 years old or 9 or something like that, even more, and we are still on the distribution level of tokens. We are still discussing about the distribution of Hive tokens. If you check out some other blockchains out there, you will see that nobody cares which wallet is getting rewards from transaction fees, from running the nodes or something like that. It doesn't matter because there are other applications built on top of it which you are using the token in. So like, for example, on Hive, like Splinterlands, what you said. So you're using Hive tokens in Splinterlands, and you don't care about who is getting Hive tokens at all. But as we don't have that many applications built on Hive, we still think about distribution of tokens, and then we start to looking in other wallets. I'm first guilty. I'm looking in the wallet of others people, of course, to see who is serious or not. So who is long on Hive or not. But everybody has different reasons to spend its money. And in a way, what you said, it doesn't mean if it's, I don't know. I would like to see more people having more Hive power and less people delegating all their Hive power out and having this manual curation to have much better distribution of these tokens. Because if you delegate to big curation projects or even to our project or whatever, so don't do all your Hive power because you're giving somebody else power. And I always say, maybe the curation project have 10 curators and they curate 10 comments per day. They have like 100 posts per day. But if you have 1,000 people and everybody curates 10 posts per day, that's 10,000 different wallets getting tokens. And that helps with the distribution. That's helped with decentralization of the tokens. And what we are doing, if you just delegate everything, you are just giving power to one side to do the distribution of the future tokens from the inflation. But let's go back to the topic with the KE coefficient. The thing is that I also don't have a problem with that. So just to clarify, my KE is probably lower than it should be because I put a lot of funds from the outside to high power. But we always think that the best Hivians are those who have high power and who are holding their high power. But is it really like that? It's a problem that we value Hivians by how much Hive they have locked in their wallet, because when you power up, you're actually locking those Hive in your wallet. And because you are locking those Hive and wallet, you are not selling them. They are not liquid, and you're not planning to sell them, at least on the paper, until you power it down. And that's make you good Hivian. But how about some other people who are creating some content, and for example that video that we shared here on this in the chat, you create some fantastic video which somebody, you posted on ThreeSpeak and you post a Hive post about it, and there are 10 people who read this post, and it inspired them to create something great, something great for Hive, for crypto, for their families, for the community. And just because that Hivian who created that is a new one, or they take out some Hive from it, it doesn't make them bad, because they created much more value than somebody else who just powered up their high power and delegated to somebody else. So it's very hard, it's very subjective to do that, and I don't think that there is a tool that can say who is a good or bad. And the KE is one of those tools. It can help you to see maybe the vision of the person behind it, or something similar, but it's not the ultimate tool that you can use for evaluating somebody, if somebody is good or bad. So that's my point of view, and I got too much talk about it.
Yeah. So yeah, in a way, Hive is a kind of supposed to be a decentralized network, and I'm proud of Hive because it has people from all over the world, but it also means that we have people from all strata of society. We have people from all kind of social background and so on, and we can't just ask everybody to behave exactly the same way. And this is also maybe why Hive doesn't really evolve, because we kind of format everybody to behave exactly the same way. You should power up, you have to do this, you have to do that, you shouldn't do such posts, you should curate like that, and so on. And I think this is maybe a bit weakness, that we have these concepts that are written nowhere, that people who join, who have no idea what these concepts are, they make mistakes, and then they are put into place by the OGs, and this is bad in my opinion. This shouldn't be here. It's not positive for Hive, but there's not much we can do. We can just offer another alternative, and that's what we try to do with Liotes. And that's why we try to be a bit open-minded, not only in respect to how we use Hive, but also to try to connect Hive with other things. There are so many options. We see the Distriator project, where people actually connect real-life transactions in shops and so on with the Hive blockchain. I think this is interesting, but there are also people say, but there we use the reward pool for that and this and that. But if we don't try out things, we will never get anywhere, I think, and that's something I think we shouldn't be too worried about. I think we also need to change a bit the mindset of the people that are on Hive, and also say that, as Melinda says, people get tense because there is a single reward pool, and everybody is kind of, in a way, what I like about Hive is when somebody writes a great post, I upvote it, he gets 50% of the post rewards, I get 50%. It's a win-win. We work together. And then suddenly people start, no, but this is my part of the reward pool that I want to protect, and so I don't vote to people who get too high post values. And then others, they say, okay, I don't want that people get too much post reward, so I prefer to upvote comments of HPD stabilizer and whatever. And this this is a bit a pity in my opinion, and I think we could do better. And I think we could do better if we manage to tap into income sources that are not only related to the reward pool. And I hope we find some ideas to do that. We tried already with this kind of faucet experiment. I think some of you participated. People got bored quickly because faucets pay even much less now than they did in the past. So it's a kind of clicking for cents. But it was a nice experiment, and I was very grateful that to the people who took part. It showed us that yeah, you guys are willing to experiment, to try something, and this is nice, I think.
Yeah, I have to say that I was skeptical toward that experiment, but in the end, as you said, it has benefits and it has pros because it really showed that people want to spread the wings and do something different. And now, while we were talking and discussing with these comments from the chat, yes, what Melinda said, there is one single reward pool, but if we create the land token and we bring value to the land token from the outside, it will not be just one reward pool. You can be rewarded for things in a land token which will not be connected to the Hive reward pool, and makes it differently and create some kind of a dynamic. And that's one of the ideas why we are trying to do certain things outside, as we already mentioned. So on my personal account, so this is not a Liotes account, this is my personal thinking, is that the HBD savings, for example, on Hive, if you are living from crypto, this is your piggy bank for bear markets, because you can't survive from crypto if you are in the bear market. You have to have some stable coins to survive bear markets, and putting them into HBD is a perfect way, and then you just take it out when you need for your daily spendings. And that's something that I'm recently doing, and that was my plan to do it in a bull run, to take some profits from outside of Hive and bring them to Hive, bring them to HBD, and in that way, I'm bringing funds to the ecosystem. And that's the thing what we are thinking to do, something similar on Liotes.
Yeah, I think it's a project. It's just an idea, general idea. It's not really anything concrete and so on. But I think it starts with the mindset. It starts with, okay, let's not just limit ourselves to what we have in front of us. Let's open our eyes, look a bit further. And Zoltan and myself have been doing that actually quite actively already for our personal purposes. So we have we went on some roller coasters with some other tokens as well, and we thought, yeah, why just keep this for us? We could share this discovery journeys with you. I'm doing it with my personal account, but then we also have like the feeling, okay, if we speak too much about other projects, is like, okay, will people on Hive have something against that? Because if we are not just showing that Hive is perfect and Hive is everything, so we also are not so secure about things, and yeah. So as Sekurama says, with VSC bridge, we will have a connection that with other ecosystems, and we already have that also with Hive Engine, because it's possible to actually transact with other blockchains over Hive Engine, and the more interconnected Hive is with other ecosystems, the better in a way. So because for people who are only on Hive, they probably don't realize what is happening outside of Hive, and it's just how shall I say that? It's like something happens somewhere and all the money flows there. Then something happens somewhere else and the money goes over there. So the blockchains are bridged. They are they go from Solana to Sui, from Sui to Hyperliquid, from Hyperliquid to I don't know where. So the hottest thing is what attracts the money, and I'm not sure that everything is really great about that, because this is also a bit difficult to actually deal with. But Hive is still in a kind of bubble where it lacks interconnectivity with the other systems that would also allow actually to bring money into it. And if Hive is not connected with the rest, it's also difficult to find arguments for people to build on Hive, because the ecosystem is small. There are few users. There are great things about the whole ecosystem. Don't understand me wrongly, but if you build somewhere, you want to be sure that people you go into a market that is important enough that you can actually make a profit from your project. And at the moment, Hive lacks this interconnectivity. I mean, VSC, I'm a bit skeptical about VSC, not because I think it's a bad idea or so, but I think that it will take much longer than we think till we get what they promise. But this is my opinion.
That's the development issue. So it takes time. So you can't plan something that could happen during the coding. So, but in a way, yes, I think that easy onboards and offboards are very important for any blockchain. So if you want to attract some investors, so it has to be easy, not just onboarding to Hive like creating an account, but just bringing funds into it and out it, and VSC will probably help in that. And I really hope that it will come as soon as possible, because we need it as soon as possible, and it will be probably one of the biggest pluses and pros, because the VSC will be a tool which will enable us to create some more powerful apps, that finally we can create more apps that you can use those Hive tokens or HBD tokens in. And of course, if you are using them, then the price value will go up. So that's like 100% sure. As we were following some of the layer 2 tokens on Hive Engine, and some tokens that has no any value, so there is nothing behind them, so there is no, I don't know, nothing visible. And just by creating a lot of pools that has paired with that token, it brings value, because they are getting locked like liquidity in those pools, those tokens. Then you have a less liquid tokens, and then it's easier to go up. Of course, it's easier to go down too, but in a way, that's something that we need. More apps that you use Hive on them, and VSC will probably be one of the main things in that. I really hope that it will go in a positive side, and we will get them at least during this year. So that will be awesome to see some of the projects building on top of it.
I mean, VSC is really what we need. I'm just always a bit skeptical, and I hope I'm positively surprised.
Yeah, I hope. I had some other thoughts, but I forgot what I wanted to say.
So if somebody wants to add something to that and or ask a question, really feel free. It's great to see that.
Feel free to
that you're
unmute.
still around.
Yeah, feel free to unmute your microphone and ask in voice if you want. So we are not here to FUD Hive. It's just trying to move forward. Yeah, I just want to say, in some way, we are all more or less Hive maxis. I always was watching my personal portfolio in crypto, and I always say I have too much Hive. I have too much Hive, but still I was always adding more and more. So that's probably what Hive maxi is doing when you say one thing and you are continue pushing it. And also not just regarding the tokens, but also the time spent on Hive.
So, how many months in a row did you power up 1,000 Hive?
I forgot. Maybe it was a year or maybe 14 months or something like that. So, but all that Hive wasn't coming from both. It came from other sides. So. I was pushing my Hive Maxi story. The thing with the Hive Maxi and any other crypto Maxi is the thing that you just stay in that bubble and you think everything is fine. While in the meantime, other stuff are happening. And if you don't follow it, I don't say that we have to go and jump on memes and buy meme tokens, but there are some other values on some other chains. So we can, and I don't want to say copy them. Maybe we can do it maybe better than them. So, but you can build on top of some other chains. If you just watch in your paper, one paper and one community on Hive or just on Hive, you will miss so many other stuff out there, because it's not all the most intelligent people on Hive are here on Hive. There are people outside, and that's why we need more brainstorming of ideas from outside. Implement something here, and just open our minds for some other ideas. And the maxi mentality is probably is killing that creativity.
Yeah, I mean, we are a very creative blockchain. I mean, I don't think that you have any other blockchain where there are so many creative people together. I mean, be it a content creator or also coder and so on. But we should be able to do more, I think.
Let me just read the comment from Kaiba. Yes, this is something very important. That was a reply on the Sekorama comment. We should realize, which some people here don't, that if you let money in, you have to let money out. But there is money that is going out, so don't get me wrong. And it's normal thing to happen. So if you are paying funds from DHF for coding, for programmers, they have to take money out. But sometimes
and there is nothing bad in money going out.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a market for everything. I mean, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, of course. So, but maybe it's just a perspective. So, from maybe some people think so. You can't take out the money, but somebody else can take the money. So it's a bit subjective. I don't want to go to that. It's just subjective. And I just want to continue. You give people the freedom to choose to stay, to choose to use tokens. Hive has so much versatility, but at the same time, that we have the freedom of the decentralized network, sometimes we feel that it ends up not being so. This is already complicated for us who are older. Imagine for a newbie. Yeah. Decentralization is a bit complicated topic, because nobody knows how it works, because we don't have a decentralized country or purely decentralized community. So it's a bit unknown place to go. And we are discovering it together. And Tango says this is 2025 and the crypto landscape has grown enormously since then. Hive has fallen down the list, and I think many of the elite have forgotten that. As much as we like Hive, there are so many other newer chains that are above Hive. I agree with that, but I still think that there is no social network as Hive are there. Social network on blockchain like Hive. So we still have something, but I agree with that we fallen down. I don't like the mentality of a Reddit vision of Hive, which is like 9 years, and we are still at the same place. So many things changed in the social media out there. So we have to adapt. I was really happy to see like To You platform when it was built, and something differently happened, because it was like Instagram, but everybody in those days were about Instagram. Now it's a TikTok, and like we are always some kind of one step behind or two steps behind with the present narratives. But I don't know. I still don't think, because there were some tryouts. I didn't test that much. I think that Akim test more of these new social networks, but most of them are actually died.
Yeah, so I was active on EastTV, on Solana, well, I try to, whenever I found a social network, I try to make an account and figure out and so on. But all what they have in common is that there was a kind of boom at the beginning and a slow but steady decline. And if I make an analogy to Hive, I mean, Hive is still around. It's still growing in some respects and so on. And I think that they all try to find a system that works. And on Hive, we have a system that is not perfect, but that works quite well all the same. And we just have all the other sides that we also have on Hive. We have games, we have Hive engine, we have all this uh, little tools and ecosystems that are around Hive, and we have fee-less transactions, which is, for example, I was on Solana, and then to get my rewards, I had to pay Solana to actually get the rewards, transaction fees that were 50% of what I had earned. So I was like, oh, yeah, I probably won't go on with that one. So, I mean, we have a lot of things that are in place that make it quite a good social network. But of course, when you look at, for example, snaps or waves or threads, you have not enough people to make it really something dynamic, and that's so it's a kind of snake that bits his tail, because it's not enough dynamic because there are not enough people, and there are not enough people because we don't manage to attract enough people, and so we can either complain and say, okay, there are not enough people, maybe once we are lucky and they will come, or we can actually do something about that and try to connect it with the rest of the world in a way. And I'm more for the second option.
I just want a short comment on fake dolphins blaming each other of decrease the investment in Hive. That's something that I think happens every time in the bear market. So because everybody freaks out because the drop. Imagine somebody who has 1 million Hive power and the value drops like 2-3 times. It doesn't matter why, which was the reason, or what kind of whale you are, positive, negative, whatever you think. But it just it's shrinking. It's shrinking. The pond is shrinking, and these crocodiles are just eating each other, and that's something that happens every time, and that's probably why it's happening now. But the whole this talk was actually about creating some other stuff. So it's like it's not like creating a distraction for people to not blame each other to taking out Hive. But if you have some other stuff to do with your Hive tokens, and if you can grow them and spend them, it will just become irrelevant. What are you doing with your investment? Are you growing or are you not growing? For me, it's ridiculous to blame somebody to sell their Hive. So if you blame somebody who sells and price drops, okay, price dropped. If you really believe in Hive, buy that Hive. So it's a great. You got it on a discount, so why not? So it's a bit ridiculous. So if you really believe that there is a value, if you think that you can build some value, then you don't worry about this stuff if people are taking out or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always almost ashamed when I see people that are blaming others that actually pull out money because they need to buy groceries or so on, and they make maybe $2 per post, and then they pull out half of it. I mean, man, it's exactly for such a thing that Hive is great as well, because you can, within 7 days of starting on this platform, get an income. Imagine how long it takes to build a business where you actually can make a profit. Hive allows that, and I think it's great. And if people want to scale their income, the only way to do it is to power up over time, get bigger and start to get curation rewards and still take from posts. And for me, this is something that I haven't seen in many places. A place where you can start with almost zero and start to earn within 7 days.
Oh yeah, try to build a business and be profitable in the first year or two. So like a minimum. Maybe if your idea is very 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 disruptive, maybe you will manage to do that. But profits in a real business doesn't come that fast. So I completely agree. But also,
Okay.
as you said, you're beginning with zero and you have $1. It's like 100% profit. So it's obvious. But what Tango says also, God help you if you withdraw it. There are people who are creating some shit posts and they try to trick the system. But of course, that's just ridiculous. If you come to social media network and think that you will post some shit post and then earn some big money, you will probably fail, of course, like everybody else failed. But if we have that kind of a vision that you came to the social media network to have to network with others, then of course you just do what you do on any other social media network. It's very simple to do it, and of course people just forget that they can support. And it really hurts. I was doing these shows in the Eastern Sea and listening to newbies when they come to Hive what they are doing and listening to some other shows, and it's amazing how many people come with that mindset. So I would come to Hive and I create a post and then I go to, I don't know, OCDB or Appreciator or some other CuraJail or Curia, whatever, and then they upvote me and I will be good. So, well, and but I suppose everybody, it's just that short term vision. People just think that they can get a big buck, but when you just realize how it goes, it's really just about networking and relationships. That you build the relation. And I think
Yeah,
that the
my
relations
path to
are
fire is,
sorry.
sorry, when my path to fire is saying that Hive is advised as a place to earn, I think this is just one facet of Hive. I mean, this is just one part, and once you do it and you realize that you earn some cents for a 500-page post and so on, maybe this is not the best argument. But what I think is, uh, you have actually so much potential on this platform that is not used. I mean, you could say, I want to brainstorm with people, I share my ideas, give me feedback, I give you feedback on this, and you can help each other, can build stuff and so on. And this is not much done. It's like, and that's what you said, is if you come with the mindset of building relationship, of interacting and so on, then you can use the full potential of Hive, I think. And yeah, we made this mistake to advertise Hive as a place to earn, and I think this attracts the people who have the earn thing in mind, and then they see, okay, what do I have to do to earn, and they just do the minimal requirement, and that's it.
I think in the video what we shared, the guy was saying how he left his university and the reason why he left it was just the thought that I'm not building assets in this moment. I'm not building assets for the future in this moment. And by assets, he was thinking he's not building his bags. In our case, it can be crypto, it can be stocks, it can be real estate, and in the end, and not just in the end by the end by some order, is asset like relations that we are building. So that's something that's probably the most important asset that we can build is these relations. And how can you build a relation? You can build a relation by respecting others and appreciating and supporting others, and Hive is perfect for that. So you can do all of that by supporting others, by your by upvoting with your high power, by commenting, by exchanging ideas, helping out each other, and that's how it grows. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we found together in a way. So it's possible, you see. We are a good example. You can start with commenting on a post, and suddenly you build a relationship, and this relationship develops to something. And yeah, I don't want to say we showed the way, but it's just one way that is possible to use these relationships to actually build something that others can profit from. And these are assets, because we profit from each other's experience, from each other's ideas, and also from you guys. Whenever you take part in the missions, I mean, how often have I gotten ideas from you for when you shared things with us? And this is real value, in my opinion.
Completely completely agree with everything said. Oh,
Well, guys, I don't think we will turn around 50 much too long. If you have questions or something to add, feel free. Or Sultan, sorry I cut your word.
no. I just wanted to say it's the same. We are 1 hour and 15 minutes into this, so I didn't expect that we will have that much material, but it's good that we did. If somebody wants to ask something, you can ask in the chat, or as I said, you can unmute yourself and ask. I really enjoyed the chat, and I thanks everyone for asking and giving opinions. It's good to be able to rant, and that's something that these missions are also a good place to do, and I didn't see other plays that these Wednesday missions where people would share good and bad about Hive, and even if you have some negative opinions, but we will not judge you, and that's a good thing, and we can learn from negative things. And I know that it's easier thing is to mute the comment and mute the author who is saying something negative, but sometimes even if it has no sense, sometimes it has one sentence in the whole book that will change your way of seeing things. That's why it's important to, and this is perfect, this is great. So we maybe went a bit negative into some certain things, but if you realize the bad sides, then you can actually improve them. That, in my opinion, if you ignore, you will not improve.
I would be very thankful if you just gave us a little feedback on the show. Did it bring you something? Was it boring? Did you do you feel better now or worse now?
That's a good thing. I don't know, we didn't discuss. I suppose that we will do some kind of a recap of this show, so you can also leave the comment there. I think that we can wrap up here. So thanks everyone for joining. It was real fun, and it was different than the show that I'm doing recently, because Akim was doing the most of the show. So that was a great thing to see and to hear. So thanks everyone, and thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the comments, for inspiration, for the chat, for questions, and for everything. And I hope that we will do this more in the future. Maybe we'll be more topic related, and just to narrow certain things. This is more like a broader approach, but for the future we'll probably create some a bit different and narrow topics. If you want to add something, Akim, and you can close the show.
Yeah, I would also like to thank you all for coming. I mean, I was quite amazed to see so many people here turning up, and especially staying till the end. So it wasn't too annoying, hopefully. It's always difficult to get the kind of feedback from what we do and so on, and I hope you took something from it, and hope to see you another time.
See you next time. Bye bye.